President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday, Sunday, convened an extended security meeting with heads of defense and intelligence agencies to review ongoing operation and stabilize areas affected by recent adoptions. The meeting, which took place at the State House, included the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Armed Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director General of the Department of State Service. Now, according to sources close to the presidency and made known to us on Dialogue on Atlantic TV, the crucial section focused on analyzing the latest feed reports and issuing directives to ensure rapid, coordinated actions across security formation. It was also learned that during the meeting, President Tinubu reaffirmed his administration commitment to protecting lives and properties of Nigeria, warning that those responsible for the recent unrest will seriously be dealt with accordingly. This is coming at a time when over 500 Nigerians have been kidnapped within a period of 5 days from Maga in Kebbi to Papiri in Niger and to Ruku in Kwara State. The list seems to be endless, making this period one that has gotten almost all Nigerians talking and worried. But what will be the latest approach that this administration needs to take to end this? And honestly, how did we get here? Well, this and more as it concerns the raging insecurity in Nigeria is what this edition of Dialogue is all centered on. And we're talking about Nigeria heightened insecurity. That's what we're taking as a critical look on our dialogue today. We're talking about Nigerians' heightened insecurity and trying to see where and how we got to where we are. But anyway, that's what we're having as a major one, and you would understand that in all honesty, that seems to be on the front burner of almost all discourse, irrespective of the platform, be it print, social media, or mainstream media. The insecurity in Nigeria seems to be taking center stage, and hence the need for us to talk about it. But to help us join in the discussion is no other person, but I love calling him an elder statesman and someone that is truly disturbed and worried about the growing insecurity. And I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, and good morning, viewers and listeners.
Well, anyway, I will not be surprised if you are not smiling. I will understand why. And, well, anyways, it's something that is really putting many Nigerians on the edge. I would rather regard, or this will be regarded as one of the toughest and saddest time as it concerns the wave of coordinated and daring attacks from these bandits. And as we speak now, both of us, as we are talking now, we have every credible information that we have almost 300 children, some as little as 6 years, still in the hands of these dear devil bandits, which is indeed a sad one. I know nobody can make sense out of what seems to be happening, but I would just rather want to start to get your reaction to these senseless and mindless adoptions.
If we are going to look far for the source of these problems,
Yes.
we are deceiving ourselves. This thing has been on since Buhari's time. 8 years, bandits were entrenched. They were entrenched for 8 good years. Bandits were entrenched. If a palm tree was planted 8 years ago, by now we would be harvesting it. That's to tell you what 8 years mean. To have left bandits to solidify, to get entrenched in our forest, pampering them. Buhari's regime planted this seed. It's time to say, to call spade a spade. Buhari himself said that if he did not win, baboons would be soaked in blood. That was when the bandits were imported into the country. There are no facts about that. And they were pampered. They were promised land. And the waterways bill that was brought 2 times
Ruga.
by the Minister of Water Resources.
Ruga.
Ruga is one of them. Places to settle the bandits as part of the plan, as part of the reward plan. They were pampered. They were paid 100 billion paid to Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah was another government by itself during Buhari's time. Now, the chicken has come home to roost. Many northerners, northern elites, are not happy with Tinubu. There's no gainsaying about that. They aren't happy with Tinubu at all. They're not just happy with the power being in the south. So, their militia, which is the bandits, because we must separate the bandits from Boko Haram and ISWAP. Boko Haram, ISWAP are ideologically driven. Bandits are not. Yeah. Bandits are the militia of the northern political elites. So,
has been alleged.
Has been alleged. So now it's
straight.
time to destabilize 2027.
You're making it have a political correlation.
It is.
Is that what you're saying?
It is. It is. El-Rufai had consistently made insecurity an issue in recent time. But if that Tinubu would be assessed from the way he handled the insecurity in the country. And this insecurity is strictly, mainly a northern issue. So if you destabilize, make the state ungovernable, ridicule the government, then of course, there will be no voting for Tinubu. That is their thinking.
So that you feel this is
if you destabilize, if you make the state ungovernable, and the easiest way to make state ungovernable is to create insecurity. So that's why you see these waves of kidnapping of students, because that's what will make news. They started with Chibok girls with Jonathan. That's how Chibok girls were kidnapped. But think about, how do you kidnap 300 students? How do you move them?
Yeah, because that's where my next question really, we're trying to get our head around what seems to be happening. Because why is it that there's this quick attack on soft targets? I'd rather call them soft targets. The children and churches, they seem to be soft targets.
They are very, very soft.
So my question, yes, you're bringing a political correlation to all of this. And yes, I will agree, but there's still a question that needs to be answered. Before all of this started, we had foreign powers, especially the United States of America. I'm still with your political correlation of it, but I want us to also just walk away a bit from there and look at other issues also as it concerns this insecurity. We'll come back to the political undertone. Now, many Nigerians are saying, immediately after the United States in particular came out to say, well, it looks as if we'll go gun blazing into the issue of genocide on the Christians. We had an optic of this. Some are now alleging, is it a message to Western powers that, oh, we don't care about what you say? Or do you feel all of this is basically just for the ransom? Let's understand, because immediately all of these heated arguments came out from the US. We're having now large numbers of constant wave of attacks of these bandits. So let's understand, are they doing for the ransom, or is the message to the Western powers? Let's also understand that.
When you read the Bible, you get chapter 1 and many verses.
Yes.
So, banditry is chapter. Ransom is verse. Political end is verse. Military, foreign intervention is another verse. Now, if foreign interest come in to intervene,
Yes.
that puts a lot of credibility question on the government. What kind of government that cannot sustain, that cannot survive, cannot sustain on its own. A militia, an ordinary, are we Afghanistan? Are we Afghanistan? So if there is foreign intervention,
it's already discrediting this.
And we don't know what that will be, with the impact of that on the government itself. Can the government survive it? Wouldn't there be a government change?
On account of it?
On account of this. That is one angle. Then there is the ransom aspect. These people are looking for arms. When was a truckload of arms intercepted by the police? Just a week or two ago. So they are buying arms. And they're also sustaining themselves. Don't forget this. That banditry is itself is a full-time business. Yeah. It's a political arm, it's a militia, it's also a business. So all of this encompasses what we are talking about. That we allow the bandits to get established. They are now entrenched. And they are becoming a match, if not a better match, for the Nigerian military. And that's the issue.
Yeah, sorry. Now, yeah, you just raised something I also want to ask, because this question is begging for answers. And many Nigerians are already asking the question. Why is it that it looks as if our military is so helpless against this? Yeah, it's a question. Many Nigerians are trying to make sense out of it. And the reason I'm asking this, now let's look at another major one. Just on Thursday, the Minister of Defense gave order for all those soldiers that were guarding the school in Maga to be transferred directly to Abuja for a pure reason that 30 minutes before the adoption, they withdrew this personnel. So he has told them to go to Abuja to answer questions why they were withdrawn. So Nigerians are now trying to make sense out of all of this. Why is it that our military is sounding helpless? This is a military that went to Liberia and brought peace there, that went to Sierra Leone and brought peace there. We are being recognized as having the strongest ground force in Africa at the moment, but yet we seem helpless to some untrained, uneducated, unscrupulous bandits. Nigerians are asking the questions.
Liberia is just a little bigger than Delta State. So when you go down there and you conquer the rebels, that's not big feat. Sierra Leone is just a little bigger than Edo State. So when you send soldiers down there to do some work, nothing to applaud there. The Nigerian military has been so compromised through the period of Buhari. The stories are no longer new about saboteurs.
Yes, like the brigadier.
Yes, like the brigadier, Uba. That was ambushed. And then you look at let's analyze the event of Uba, Brigadier Uba, and then you see if the Nigerian army itself even is ready. A brigadier general went on operation. They were overwhelmed and they ran to the bush. He was communicating with WhatsApp. In this era, a brigadier is communicating with his base with WhatsApp. WhatsApp may be encrypted, but who said? Was it not WhatsApp that the Israelis used to kill so many Iranians during the Israeli-Iranian war? How are you telling me that the Nigerian army does not have a signal corps that would sufficiently provide signal capability to a military formation that is going on to war? And then the leader of the team has to use WhatsApp, text messages to communicate. That's number one. Number two, the man was calling for help. Did the rescue come? Rescue is supposed to be part of the operations when you go to war. Anything can happen. How do we get our men back safely? Helicopters couldn't fly. Nothing moved. It's shameful. It's shameful. The man was alone in the bush for hours. No rescue. No rescue until he was captured. There are stories that he's still alive and all that. Hey, if the man is alive, bring him on television, let's see him. There's no story of the man is alive, and if he's in the hospital bed, let's see him. That is the issue that worries me. Is the Nigerian military ready? Are they sufficiently equipped? Is there morality? Is the morale high? The morale of the soldiers high? Are they well taken care of? Where are the billions and billions and trillions that have been pumped into them? What is it being used for? You see, our army has been compromised to a very large extent, compromised. And an army that is fighting itself, within itself, can't go anywhere. Because you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your partner. The man with whom you are going to war, your comrade, you can't trust him. You don't know where he is. You don't know what side he is. So how are you going to fight a war when the men in the battlefront are being betrayed by intelligence men who are leaking information, leaking intelligence information to enemies? How do you fight a war? That is another issue. The Minister of Defense, Watawale, Bello Watawale, what is his technical skill in military warfare? He's a teacher. He has no qualification whatsoever in military affairs. He cannot separate maybe like me. They say AK-45, AK-47. I'm sure I'm better than him. I mean, I can see AK-47 and say this is AK-47, AK-50, this is AK-50. But will Matawale be able to do that? And you don't go into a highly specialized ministry like defense and you learn on the job. You can't learn on the job. You see, what we need are men like General Theophilus Danjuma as Minister of Defense. He won't go there to learn whether we need AK-47 or drones. He already knows. He has spent all his life in the military, so there's nothing you are going to teach him. So he's going there properly equipped to deal with the situation. Matawale couldn't solve the problem of banditry in Zamfara State. He couldn't. He could not. He started negotiating with bandits in his state. He was frolicking with bandits in the government house in Zamfara State. So now you make such a man the Minister for Defense. What does he know about logistics? Military logistics. What does he know about strategies? What does he know about tactics? The Secretary of War in the US was a career soldier. He fought in Afghanistan.
Pete Hedges.
Yes. So we are not, when you look at us, we are not just serious. We are not serious. And not a horse. When you have children you send to school, being woken up in the middle of the night, put in trailers, and taken away. How do you, even cows, 300 cows, how do you herd them in one direction? Not talk of 300 weeping children. Well, they will be weeping. They will be hysterical. How do you move that number without anybody discovering? How? We have a long way to go.
Well, anyways, that's where we are going, and we're looking at the present optic of violence that seemed to have bedeviled Nigeria in recent time. And looking at it critically from all angles, you will really understand why Chief Olori Magege seems to be angered. Well, anyways, I've not seen him in this mood in a very, very, very long time. But no surprise. But anyway, well, no surprise we're talking about it. It seems to be on burner of our discourse in the country in particular. We're talking about the increase in insecurity that seemed to have bedeviled us as a nation. Where did we get it wrong? How did we get it wrong? What needs to be done to indeed address this very problem? As I speak, we know about 51 students have escaped from the bandits right there in Niger State, and they have returned back to their families. But with latest report reaching Dialogue just this morning, an accredited report, they still have about 258 students and staff still in the hands of those dreaded bandits. We're still talking about the issue of the 25 girls. We're still hoping and praying that they return. But all good news, the 38 worshippers in the church in Uruku, we're talking about Kwara State, have been released. Well, many are saying ransom were paid. Others are saying it was a rescue from the Department of State Service. Well, once we get credible intel as it concerns how that came about, we'll definitely let you know on Dialogue. But let's return back to you, Chief Olori Magege. And well, we're still talking about the children because that's where we hold dear in our hearts. No parent would want his or her child to be in the hands of such senseless persons around this very time, knowing that the children will be hungry and they are sleeping in the open, and only God knows the kind of reptiles that will be there among them, and maybe some might even be sick because of the cold, Harmattan cold in the north as we speak. But let's look at a major one. We got information that the Ministry of Education on Friday issued a directive that the 47 federal colleges should immediately be closed. And we also got intel that some states have followed suit on that directive. States like Katsina, Niger, Plateau, and Benue,
Kebbi,
Kwara. No, Kebbi, they are still open, and Sokoto, they are still open, but they are getting assurance of better security. But some of all of these schools have been closed. So my question, do you feel this is the right direction, that we are closing schools, or schools are being closed? Because as it stands, in the last 10 years, we've had about 2,000 children being kidnapped. So is this the right way to go, closing down the schools?
It's an acknowledgement of failure. We failed as a state. We failed in all ramifications. That our poor, innocent children are now chilled. They are not being used as chilled.
Human shield.
Yeah, human shield for ransom payment. We have failed woefully. I remember coming here in the last time. I said the situation that we are in now, if it were imposed on us by foreign power, we should go to war. We should go to war. Where children can no longer go to school, schools have been closed. So we have just admitted that we can no longer provide security. Go to your parents and let them take care of you. Let them provide security for you. That's all. It's that bad. And what is so annoying is this, that we are not seeing any action by the military. Credible action. Notable action. Something that could give you some sense of succor. Some sense of relief that something is being done. Nothing is being done. Call meetings into Aso Rock, State House. What does that mean? Look, technology has so advanced that searching for this, knowing where these children are, should not take more than 3 hours.
No, but credible intel tells us that they know where they are. But going there to rescue them, knowing that they are human shield, is the difficult approach that is holding the military back.
Because, why is it so? Because any strategy discussed will be linked to the bandits. will be linked to the bandits. It gets. Can you imagine this happening in the United States of America?
No, not there.
Can you imagine this happening even in Egypt? Can you imagine this thing happening in Israel? Can you imagine this thing happening in South Africa? Whereas we are talking now, 250 children are somewhere, maybe they've not eaten for the past 2 days. Who knows?
Okay.
Look, if we know where they are, and we are afraid to go there because we don't want to suffer any casualty on our part or on collateral damages on the part of the children, or failure of strategy. It's all failure of strategy. The 53 church members that were released or rescued, how many bandits were killed in that operation?
That's why I said
How many were arrested in that operation?
That's why I said the information is still a bit sketchy. We are trying to find out
And
what
then,
really happened.
okay, we're trying to find out all the rescued victims all these years. How many bandits were killed? Look at those directors.
So are you saying maybe ransoms were paid? That's why we got them released.
Look, I don't want to speculate.
Okay, well, let's leave.
But ransom is always going with it. Look at those directors. Move from Kogi through the forest, directors of Ministry of Defense. Move from Kogi to Kaduna. Nobody saw them. There was no interception. And we have the DSS, we have military intelligence, we have police intelligence from Kogi through the forest into Gatuna forest where they were released. And it's frightening to me, it's very frightening to me that the security agencies don't have a map of our forest. They don't even know where these forests are. And that makes me to be very much afraid. It means that if a foreign power comes into Nigeria, they will simply decimate us. Because we are not equipped with the basic knowledge of our terrains. We don't know.
Okay, what I do know is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday directed the Minister of Defense, undermining you seem to have your reserve about him, to immediately go to Kebbi State. Now, after he did that, there was a growing call from Nigerians to also direct the service chiefs, all of them, to the areas of special concern. Do you see these helping out to deal with this issue? Because many say, why are the service chiefs in Abuja, well relaxed in beautiful AC offices when they need to be at the theater of war, on the battlefield? Should that be the way to go to help us deal with it? Because you are still talking about intelligence. If we have high-ranking military personnel on the field, credible information will get to them. Should that be the way to go?
You move Matawale to Kebbi. What difference does it make? Is he going to the battle into the forest? Cosmetics.
Oh, God.
Just optics, cosmetic, pure nonsense. You mean if America comes to Nigeria, Trump will come?
No.
When America invaded Afghanistan, did the president go there?
No.
When they invaded Iraq, did they go there?
No.
Cosmetics.
So we don't need the service chiefs there?
We don't need them there. We look, in this era, in this modern era, in a very well-trained military setup, the commander is in the head office and is getting real-time information online as the soldiers are marching on to war. He's hearing the cracks of every gun fired right in his office. Because He is over there to coordinate. He's not sleeping. There are a million things going on at the same time to support the soldiers in the war front. They need logistics.
Yeah.
They need to be fed.
Real-time information.
Yes, real-time information. So somebody has to be there at headquarters where the facilities are for thorough coordination. So you don't move them to, okay, they go to Kebbi today. If there is a fire in Zamfara, they fly down there to Zamfara again. If there is fire in Katsina, they come back.
Because Nigerians feel they seem not to understand the heat of the moment. That is why we've not had any major successes as it concerns this. I could still remember a Chadian general once said that the reason they were able to hit the bandits hard in Chad was that they were more battleground ready. But when you had the Nigerians, they were all in air-conditioned big cars. So should that not be the mindset now? That there's a fire on the mountain, everybody should run, 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 run.
Look, a good military is ever ready. Even the Boy Scout is ever ready. Not talk of military. If we start talking of air conditioner and all that, we are avoiding the substance. We are avoiding the issue. Uba was captured right in the war front, isn't it? The Brigadier General.
So it will not make sense we send our high-ranking.
They let them do their work, that's what I'm saying. And they can do their work from anywhere. That's the point. Let them do their work, let them do their work thoroughly. And let them do it wherever they are. Does not matter moving them.
Okay, now let's come back to another major, because we're trying to find avenues of dealing with it and looking at what the present administration is doing to resolve some of the issues.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said no more police officers to VIPs, pushing about the 100,000 of those police officers away from the VIP. He said the NSCDC would not take charge in protecting these very important persons. But as it stands, a pure directive that came yesterday, and with what we are monitoring on ground, on dialogue, we are getting real-time information that indeed all the major police officers are now being withdrawn from very important persons and now sending or getting directive directly from the headquarters. Now, sir, would that be the best way to go? Remove them from very important persons. And not only that, Mr. President also said that about 30,000 police officers would be recruited in a very short while. Is that the best way to go to deal with this unraging security? Oh, I got another laugh from you, sir.
Lack of planning.
Oh, come on.
Lack of planning. Banditry didn't start with us today. Banditry has been Tinubu's problem since he came more than 2.5 years ago. So is it today that he knows that VIPs are having police protection and they need to withdraw them? The man is being overloaded. Tinubu is being overloaded. We have IGP that is not working. There must be a regular assessment of personnel need and a projection. What we are having is a knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk reaction. You tap somebody on the knee, and then it kicks. Are we just waking up now to know that there is a shortfall in manpower needs of the police, in manpower need of the army? You are making emergency recruitment. What does that mean? Are you just knowing now? We don't have a plan. You see, we need cool-headedness, not a knee-jerk reaction to situations. Tomorrow we'll now wake up and say that the men and women of Nigerian Civil Defense, we will draw them again and move them to battle. These are trained men. These are trained men. Let's have the same insecurity level for everybody. Every trained military person
or paramilitary
should now be in active service Not protecting anybody. Not protecting anybody.
But we don't want to descend into chaos as it concerns very important persons also being...
All lives are important. All lives are important. It is the failure of this elites that has led to this problem that we're having. It's not the poor man in Agbaro, the poor farmer in Agbaro, or the poor farmer in Esako. I think you are from Esako.
I'm not from Esako.
That caused this problem. It is the problem of elites. And I'm sure Jonathan is laughing, enjoying himself. That I do body, I'm sorry.
Why would you say so?
Why not? This was their plan, to make his government a failure, total failure. And they did boomerang, and they won the election. And they didn't know how to handle the men they imported, the thugs they imported. They pampered them and pampered them and pampered them, and being those bandits, those Fulani bandits, they have no home to go to.
But that's just pure allegation.
That's not an allegation. Why was Miyetti Allah given 100 billion naira? What service did Miyetti Allah render to Buhari that earned them 100 billion naira? You see, if we are truly going to solve this banditry thing once and for all, I'm not talking of Boko Haram and ISWAP. Yeah. That's a different ball game.
Yeah. Ideology is their problem.
Yes, that's a different ball game, a different strategy. We are talking of these marauding bandits who have no home, they have no country. They are just soldiers of fortune. That's what they are. They were important into the country, and they are causing wrecking havoc. El-Rufai keep talking rubbish. Was he not the one who started paying bandits when he was governor of Kaduna State? I wonder what is Bayo Onanuga doing? Why are they not taking on El-Rufai? Didn't he pay bandits in Kaduna? They use bandits to disorganize southern Kaduna. And now he's talking. Insecurity shall be used to measure the performance of...
Yeah, because, I want us to now go there, because if you still remember Christopher Musa, the former CDS,
yes,
in August he came out to say, well, Nigerians are just screaming their lungs to the high heavens because of an optic of violence then, that all was having a political coloration.
Yes.
So are you saying he was right in every way? Because when he said that, he was almost buried. People started castigating him and saying he was finding an avenue to attack the opposition.
Abacha said that any insurrection that lasts more than 2 days has government connection.
So do you feel this recent political optic is all political related?
Oh, it's all political. It's all political.
To discredit this administration?
To discredit Tinubu. And we are not seeing it. We in the South are not seeing it as it is. And that is the tragedy of it all. Anytime a Southerner is president of Nigeria, we have problems. Problems of banditry, problem of insurgency. It started with Jonathan. And we clap, we laugh, we enjoyed it. Now Tinubu is there. Let's forget that Tinubu was part of the harassment of Jonathan. Let's look at the problem before us now and understand what it is. And we must rally around Tinubu for our sake as Southerners. We must. Because if we allow Tinubu to be pushed out and bandits entrenched, then Nigeria is conquered. Nigeria is conquered. So we must rally around Tinubu and give him every support that he needs, including our lives. Because those children in the forest could be our children. Those worshippers killed in Kwara State could be us. Those farmers being killed everywhere by herders We have
12
experienced it.
cement farmers were adopted in Borno yesterday, according to our security reports.
We could be the victims. So we should not just see this issue as their matter. No, it's our matter. We are affected. We are concerned. Those of us here in the studio, we are concerned. This door will open now, and bandits will come and take us away.
We're God forbid.
God forbid, but yes, we don't wish it. We don't wish it, but it's possible. It's very possible. Bandits walk into a church and kill people and carry worshippers away.
So do you feel it's coming south? Because that was in Kwara. Kogi was not a hotbed before, but it's now a hotbed of bandits attack. Now it's pushing into Kwara.
They are moving. They are moving. Their eyes are on southwest. From southwest, probably will come to south-south. From south-south, it will be difficult for them to get eastern states. Because east is ready. The eastern states are ready. IPOP had sensitized them. Eastern Security Network, they've all sensitized them.
We'll not like to talk about them because they are still designated.
Yes, I agree. But
so let's leave it
the people are sensitized enough to know. And they've experienced it. Unlike us in the south-south, where we are still ajabotas. So, what is the solution?
Yes, that's where I was going to now. What should we do?
If we create state police, let every state handle its own security, a step forward. But I will even advocate a state army.
Would that not increase militias?
No. A state army under
The federal army.
Under the federal control. But let the state handle
Its own internal security.
internal security. That's the bottom line. Handle your
But
own.
would it not make more sense, rather than having state-wise, when it has total control of the chief executive, would it not make sense to make it more regional? Something like the Omoteku, something like the South-South Security Network. So would it not be better regional than state?
The bottom line is this. Decentralize the military.
Okay.
Decentralize the police.
Okay, decentralized security.
Yeah, decentralize security. Decentralize it. Because now we don't know who is who. We don't know who is who. We don't know who is our friend anymore. We don't know who is our enemy.
By the way, I know you are a friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The military has been so compromised. So compromised. So, first and foremost, Tinubu should purge the military. Clean it up. When they were recruiting, when they were absorbing repentant Boko Haram, they didn't know what they were doing.
But that was under Buhari's time.
Yes, what we are harvesting now is what Buhari planted. What Buhari planted. Buhari has his own mindset. Why was he apologizing to Nigerians on his deathbed? So, what we are harvesting today were all planted by Buhari regime. And it's bearing fruits now. And we are suffering it. So, first and foremost, let's clean up the military. Let's have a Nigerian military. Right now, we don't know what we have. Whether it's ISWAP, whether it's Boko Haram, whether it's banditry, we do not know. There have been too many reports of compromises by our men in uniform that put at risk the lives of our own children who are in the military. And that's of concern to us. Yes, we know that when we join the military,
It's now more a federal face.
yes, but when we go to battle, we don't want to receive bullets from the back. We want to be sure that who is by us is truly our comrade, is truly our body, not somebody who is relaying to the enemy Tinubu must purge the army, the military as a whole, must purge the military, clean it up. And even if he's not able to accomplish it in the next 1 year, does not matter. Let him start it. If he doesn't, his second tenure will be terrible. It will be very terrible. If he gets it at all. But my advocacy is, let's support Tinubu. Let's rally around him. Let's rally around him. Let's give him all the support he needs. And let's help push back this northern rhetoric that says nothing good can come from the Southern presidency. I don't want that. I don't want that. And if he is serious, let him start probing how banditry came to be in Nigeria.
And how they are strong foot.
Yes. He knows them. He knows the bandits. I would suspect so. What is DSS doing? What is military intelligence doing? What are they paid to do?
Well, anyways, we are paid to talk about this, and that's why we've been talking about
Yeah.
it. And honestly, we've been talking for 1 hour now. And,
1 hour?
Yes. Well, time is not always a friend. Yes, we have been. And we're really totally out of time. And you've given us an idea of what you feel we need to do. And you feel starting with the military will give us an edge. But before you go, I want to ask you a quick question. Should we seek for support? Should we seek for assistance at this moment and at this time?
The Americans will have been here yesterday. I remember I said this sometimes.
Yes, indeed.
We need support. We are overwhelmed. When schools have been closed because of insurgency.
But it should be a support and not an override. Not them taking the decision.
Then we've gone beyond giving conditions. We've gone beyond conditions. Let's see the ball you talk of it. Yeah, we will first catch fire. If we don't have the luxury of giving conditions.
We just need help.
Yes, we need help. We could bring mercenaries in.
Yeah. Just like Jonathan did.
Like Jonathan did. Foreign help can come in form of mercenaries.
Yeah.
Are you
well-trained military officer?
Yes. To help us. So this is a way. So it does not mean we will lose our sovereignty. Okay. No. Okay. Nobody will come in here. We are not going to be part of the United States of America. We are not going to be that.
Yeah. Okay, well anyway, what I know we are part of is telling you very big thank you. We're talking of no other person. But Chief Olori Magege talking about this passionately and telling all Nigerians that we should rally around Mr. President and see how he will succeed on this. Because it's not his fight alone, but ours to fight. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that advice. And it's more like a wrap on the show today. You would always understand that when it comes to critical issues, we do not shy away from talking about it on Dialogue, because while we talk and dialogue, all we are really after is finding a path and a way forward. And that path and way forward is for me to tell you to please drop your comments, contributions on our different social media platforms. They're already there on your screen. Do same and let's get your reaction as it concerns this topic and every other topic we're talking about. And also, if you have any major ideas that will indeed help to solve or change the narrative, now will be a better time to do so. But anyway, it's always interactive and interesting, and we always would say we appreciate all those comments that had come on account of different episodes we've had. We truly appreciate them, and please keep them coming. Share, like, and also be a part of the discourse on Dialogue. I still remember Michael Obadia News will come around the hour, but remember, trending will definitely be starting off the new week edition, and it's something that you love to be a part of. Let's go on that.